What is up, heroes? It's Midnight Zero, and welcome back to Let's Play Corpse Party Book of Shadows for the PS Vita. I realized that I'm used to saying, like, for the Game Boy Color from the Pokemon trading card game Let's Play I did a bit ago, but I don't really need that anymore. Also, I think this is actually for the PSP. I'm emulating it, though, so it's all crisp and clean and everything. I actually have a copy of the game, though, so... Anyways, that's a whole nother conversation. Regardless, in the last episode, we actually got into the meat and bones. Meat and bones. What is up, heroes? It's Midnight Zero, and welcome back to Let's Play Corpse Party Book of Shadows. In the last episode, we finally got into what makes Corpse Party best. The horror, right? We finally got back to Heavenly Host. We think this might be some parallel timeline, not really sure exactly what's going on, but we're back in Heavenly Host. We got some spooky stuff going on, and we're trying to save Seiko. We're trying to keep her from doing what happened in the very first game. And before we do get into that, I do want to say thank you guys. This series is kind of polarizing on my channel. Got a lot of people that come in from Danganronpa, a lot of people that didn't really feel Corpse Party was that great, thought it was a waste of time, etc. Probably a little too harsh with their words in response to the comments and all that stuff. But then there are also a lot of people that have really enjoyed it. So to those of you that do enjoy it, thank you for your support. Thank you for voicing said support, and I hope you guys continue to enjoy it. Like I mentioned in the very first episode, I was a little put off by the immediate introduction to the fan service and such, but now I hopefully think we're getting into what makes Corpse Party Corpse Party. So regardless, I have to go after her. I have to apologize. I can't leave her alone like this. I ran as quickly as I could in the direction Seiko had gone, but then... Yikes, this doesn't sound so good. No! A fierce earthquake began shaking the building. It was so violent I couldn't even stay standing. I crouched along the ground, waiting for it to pass. Everything was moving, and there were sounds of objects cracking and breaking all around me. Man, these earthquakes in Corpse Party. Glass was shattering, ceiling tiles were raining down upon me. I was scared for my life. So scared, so very afraid. I was certain I was going to die. Maybe a big chunk of ceiling would fall on me, or the floor would open up at my feet and swallow me whole. I kept wondering how it was going to end. Was I going to be crushed? How badly would it hurt? How long would it go on before I finally died? Whoa, this is pretty intense. Hopefully it ends soon. My head was swimming with all kinds of worst case scenarios, while my body just remained motionless on the ground. I never felt so helpless before. I didn't even care anymore. I'd take any release I could get, just make it stop. And it is really tough to hear her voice acting with all this earthquake sound effect going on. But there was no release for me. All I could do was curl up into a ball and pray. And it finally subsides. I wondered how much time had passed. Oh no, was this enough time to get possessed, kill Seiko, and come back? 数時間にも思えるほどの恐ろしい時間が過ぎて、校舎はようやく静寂を取り戻した。It could have been only a moment, a few minutes, or even a few hours for all I knew. But it did finally end, and the dark corridors were silent once more. 体
体中をこわばらせながらゆっくりと体を起こすと頭の上から埃や木くずがパラパラと落ちた。
I gradually loosened my stiff body, uncurling from the floor. Blotches of dust and wood chips fell from my hair.
服の中にも砂みたいな細かい粒子がいっぱい入っててジャリジャリ言う。気持ち悪い。
Some of the finer debris had gotten into my clothing and was crunching around like sand with my every movement. It was not pleasant. Ugh, I hate that so much when you get like a little bit of like sand in your shoes or something like that and you can just like feel it. It's not like debilitating by any means. It's just perpetually uncomfortable.
服をつまんでバサバサと払いスカートをはたいて立ち上がってみた。
I brushed myself off as best as I could and slowly rose to my feet, slapping my skirt in vain to clear away any excess dust and dirt.
埃が舞い白く煙る廊下を見渡すとそこには
The particles in the air were like a white smoke billowing through the pitch black hallway. It took me a moment to get my bearings.
絶望的な状況が私の前に横たわっていた。
Once I finally did, though, I almost wished I hadn't. The sight before my eyes instantly washed away what little hope I may have had. Despair. What?
今の地震で床が抜けて向こう側へ
Of course. Such as Corpse Party,
進む
right?
ことができなくなっていたのだ。
The earthquake had completely caved in part of the floor. It was no longer possible to continue down this hall. No longer possible to trail Seiko.
もう少し向こうにしゃがんでいたら床の亀裂に飲み込まれて私は無事に済んではいなかった。
If I had been cowering from the quake only a few feet ahead, I'd be dead for sure. Swallowed up into whatever hell lay down there. Certainly doesn't sound like such a great fate. But this would also indicate that maybe this isn't like when she was possessed and went to kill Seiko, per se.
穴の縁に膝をつけて穴の底を覗き込む。
I knelt down by the edge of the hole and peered within.
暗
Uh-oh.
くてよく見えないけどこの校舎意外と階ごとの天井が高い。
It was too dark to tell for sure, but if what I thought I saw was correct, then the ceilings in the school were unreasonably high.
さらに下の階のちょうどここから真下の床にも穴が開いたみたいだ。
To make matters worse, it seemed like the floor directly below had fallen out as well.
ここから落ちたらどこまで落ちていくんだろう。
Yikes.
身震いしながら私は腰を上げた。
I didn't dare consider just how deep this pit might go. All I knew was I couldn't risk falling into it. Shivering in terror, I pulled myself up.
どうしよう。どこか別のところから回り込めるかな。
What do I do? Can I get around it?
急がないと。
I have to hurry. Maybe you can long jump, Naomi?
急がないと聖子が自殺してしまう。
I definitely had to
まだ
hurry.
間に合うんだ。
If I didn't, Seiko would commit suicide, but there was still time. Wait a minute. This is so interesting because this is kind of supporting my theory that this is a separate timeline, continuation of an ending from the first Corpse Party game. Because in the first Corpse Party game, at the end of like the true ending, or not, you get a clip that indicates that Naomi did find that tape and watched that tape and saw that she actually hung Seiko, and it wasn't that Seiko committed suicide, but that doesn't happen in the timeline where they prematurely head back. Ooh, interesting.
今度こそそんなこと絶対させない。そんな運命変えてやる。
I was determined not to let it happen. No matter what, I was going to save her. I was going to change her horrible fate. Kaete yaru. So aggressive. Search mode, what is this? Ooh, this is pretty cool. I'm using my clean Super Famicom controller. Oh, I like this. I was waiting for some like actual gameplay, so we're actually doing things now. So what do I want to search? There's nothing that like immediately jumps out. This isn't like exactly like Danganronpa. What is it again? Oh, I didn't see what the controls were. Alright, I'm pretty sure X is to examine something. Is there anything particular we want to examine off the top of my head? At the moment, it doesn't look like there's anything too much standing out. I feel like this is a great opportunity for like Easter eggs and such. Like the hole in the ground, maybe? Is there anything in particular we want to examine? Maybe this window here is all I can really think of. Am I even hitting the right button to examine? Oh, that's not the right button. Let me see the message log. That doesn't indicate the, that sound effect, though. That doesn't indicate what the directions are, though. Oh, no. Okay, well, it's not triangle. Oh, and I can speed things up with that. So, that's to speed it up. How do I examine something, though? Whoa. Oh, there's like a map like this? Yo, that's cool. But I think the more pressing problem is that I need to examine something and I don't know what it is or if I'm even hitting the right button to examine things. Sorry for this floofing around. Let me turn up maybe the contrast a little bit on my screen. Maybe see things a little bit better. If there's anything that's sticking out a little bit more. Maybe this door over here? This hole? What to examine? You guys are probably like, oh, there's like this thing that's obvious. Can I not examine this door? Like this door looks like it might be open. Hitting circle, X, R, L. L is the map. Square is to speed up the cursor. Start doesn't do anything. Select doesn't do anything. Well, this is pretty problematic. I should have paid attention when I had the chance. I'm pretty much just going around the screen now and hitting X over and over. So I don't think that's the case. Maybe it's circle then. Maybe I'll spam circle as I move around and hopefully examine something. Did the music just end? Okay, yeah, we'll be back. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Can I? I can. So I use the map to move around. There isn't necessarily something to examine on every screen, or I don't have to examine something on the screen to move to another. Oh, now it makes sense. I don't like this place. The infirmary was where I'd been attacked. I didn't want to stay in there any longer than I had to. That horrible sensation of my body being overcome by that hair-like mist was something I never hoped to experience again as long as I lived. Oh man. I can search here? Do I want to search here? That's the real question. I kind of want to save. What's cool is that I can save at a bunch of different points and stuff. But, okay. I want to examine this. All things considered, there's surprisingly little dust on these beds. There's nothing under them, is there? Do we find anything? No, there isn't. Good. Oh, is she like checking for like monsters or something? There's a pair of scissors on one of the shelves. Its blades are stained with blood. So this is, I guess, how this game is, like, gameplay-wise. Interesting. Interesting, that's quite a bit different. There's a photo here. Whoa. The paper was cracked and warped in various spots, and the picture itself was in black and white. Clearly, this was not a recent photograph. It was just a simple shot of a man looking directly at the camera. It had a formal air to it, as if it were used for an arranged marriage interview. I wonder who this is. Was he the man who worked at this desk? Or a family member, maybe? Yeah, that's the question, because I don't remember any man being involved in here. That's for sure. What about the desk itself? Oh, wait, no, it's the same thing. Okay, what about this wardrobe? There's a large number of bottles lined up on the shelf here. Each one of them seems to be packed tightly with small chunks of unidentifiable meat, and the smell suggests they've been here for quite a while. Yikes, that doesn't sound so hot. Oh man, this room, the infirmary, I'm already risking it. It's the first room we decided to actively go to. How does that end up being the case, right? Like, the infirmary of all places, after our first playthrough, and the horrors we went through in the infirmary, and that sound that luckily didn't come back. It's an old-fashioned space heater, but it's so full of ash that I'll probably never light again. Okay, I think that's all we're going to want to do for now. Let's head back to the hallway. Oh, I don't even have to go to necessarily adjacent places, do I? Interesting. So this is the beginning where we were. There's a large hole in the floor, too big to jump across. Getting to the other side won't be possible from here. But we can go through this way. Oh, we're facing this direction. Oh, neat. I can do that with the circle button. Okay, so starting to figure it out a little bit more. So the green places are the places we can go to. Let's head to this hallway, because we were just here and we haven't been here before. Let's see if we can find anything here. Oh no, that sound effect. Oh no, you know what that means. Yikes.
壁に叩きつけられて飛び散った人の内臓のようなものがこびりついている。ものすごい匂い。
There was a mess of blood and entrails on the wall, as if someone were launched from across the corridor at tremendous speed and splattered on impact. We know that's Mayu.
さっき聖子が言っていたけれど、本当に生臭い。臓器特有の匂いって有無を言わさず吐き気を催させる刺激がある。
The smell was positively vile. Seiko had commented on it before, but it was really hitting me now. Every breath I took was triggering my gag reflex.
また吐き気がしてき
This fly sound effect, though. It was all I could do. It was all I could do not to vomit again. Alright, so let's see if there's anything to search here really quickly, just because the sound effect is getting to me. Let's move on then to this hallway. I don't know how I feel about this. I kind of like being able to control where I walk with like a D-pad more so than having to move like place to place in this sort of a map. But I'll probably get used to it, and we'll see how the investigation thing turns out. But the door to the science lab is frozen in place, as if it's just a decoration on the wall. It can't be opened. Okay. Ooh, what's... Oh, is this the door to the science? Yep. Okay. Then, is there anything else worth investigating? This looks to be the same texture, or the same thing as the last hallway piece. I hope they don't reuse artwork too much. Let's head on over this way, into this hallway.
一人で真っ暗な廊下を歩いていると全身鳥肌が立つような感覚に包まれていく。
As I wandered through the darkened corridors, every hair on my body was standing at attention. I had goosebumps from head to toe.
まるで一歩ごとに不安という霧が体に絡みついてくる感覚。
It felt like a fog of uneasiness was swirling around me with each step I took.
それがどんどん重なっていつかは完全に闇に飲み込まれて消えてなくなりそうな不安。
And that fog was growing thicker and thicker, to such an extent that I began fearing the darkness might swallow me whole, and I'd cease to exist.
正気をいつまで保っていられるのかわからない焦り。
I could feel my sanity slipping away. I didn't know how much longer it could hold out, and I was starting to lose patience. I just wanted to get it over with.
怖いという感覚は粘着質だ。拭っても拭ってもぬるぬるとこびりついて取れない。
Fear was like a slime covering my entire being. No matter how much I wiped, I was only squishing it around. It wouldn't come off. It was stuck fast. Whoa.
歩きながら聖子の名前を呼ぶことで感覚をシャットダウンして
I was like
私はかろうじて自我を保っていたように思え
I
る。
was like wondering who's coming towards us, but no, it's just our own footsteps. I walked around aimlessly, calling out Seiko's name. By doing so, I think I was able to dull my senses and just barely maintain my grip on reality.
聖子どこ？返事して！私どうかしてたら謝りたいの。
Seiko, where are you? Please answer me. I wasn't thinking straight. I want to apologize.
通路の先の真っ暗闇に光る筋が一瞬見えた気がする。斜めに縦に複数。なんだろう。
Up ahead, I swore I saw light glinting off of something. It looked for a moment like a web of sinewy strings stretched all across the hall. Ooh, I don't know if I like that.
恐る恐る近づいてみると確かに光る線がある。私はそっとその線に
Ooh,
指を
you're gonna get cut. I slowly crept forward until I could confirm that they were in fact strands of wire. Gently, I reached out a finger and touched the closest one. Yeah, those are not wire you want to run into.
刺激に驚いて離した指を見てみると、裂けた指の傷口にプツプツと赤い水玉が並んでいた。
I pulled my hand away. Looking down at it, there was now a very fine, clean slice right on the tip of my finger. Tiny red beads were beginning to form.
血の玉はみるみる大きくなり、やがてつながって大きな血の雫になった。
Those beads just kept getting bigger and bigger as I watched, eventually swelling into one another and forming a single drop of blood.
指を伝って手首の方に流れ出る。
And that drop quickly became too heavy for its perch. It began wending its way down my hand toward my wrist. I would like to say that from an English standpoint, from like a description standpoint, this is really well, I don't know, man, I keep doing this thing lately where there's a Japanese word that comes to mind first before like an English word, and I feel like it's my Japanese trying to be like, hey, I'm still here. I know you haven't used me in a little bit, but I'm still here. But no, I feel like depict. The words are very good at depicting what, you know, the visuals aren't showing.
ピアノ線、ワイヤー。
Piano wire? No, it's a little different.
少し撫でただけでこんなに深く皮膚が切れるなんて。
I couldn't believe it. It cut so deeply from just that one faint touch.
何これ、研いであるの。
Had it been sharpened?
痛い。こんなのが張り巡らされた廊下、気づかずに通ったら大変なことになる。
Yeah, no kidding. It really stung. If I hadn't noticed those wires strung up across the hall and had just kept walking, I shudder to think of what might have happened.
幽霊とかじゃなくて人為的な罠。誰がこんなこと。
Death not from malevolent spirits, but from a mere booby trap. Who could have done this? Yeah, you're not alone, Naomi.
何かの悪意を感じて身震いした。
There was definitely a planned malice behind it. I could sense an ill will in the air and began to tremble.
まさか今この瞬間も
Exactly.
ここを
Was
私を見ている。
someone watching me? Even at that very moment? Because, like, people set up traps and they watch them, right? It's not like... I mean, some traps are kind of like you set it up and you come back later to see what you got, but it feels like, with this particular one, it's not really for the end product, it's for the... in the process of the trap activating. So I wouldn't be surprised if Naomi were being watched right now.
私が罠に引っかかって死んだり、ひどい目に遭えばよかったのにって誰かが悔しがっている。
Was someone just waiting for me to fall into their trap and die so they could gloat about it?
誰か見てるの？ねえ。
Is someone there? Hey!
時勢が聞かずに口をついて言葉が出た。怖い、ひどい、許せない。
It was like an unconscious shout. I couldn't control myself. I was scared, and whoever did this was heartless. I couldn't just let it go.
やだよ、やめて。怖いから。ひどいことしないでよ。
Stop this, please. You're scaring me. Don't do these awful things to people.
いろんな感情がぐるぐる回って、私は無意識に涙を流していた。
A bevy of... that's an interesting word. A bevy of negative emotions began swimming through my head. I suddenly realized I was crying.
切断線が張り巡らされたこの通路は、このままじゃ進むことができない。
And I knew that this corridor, with its web of razor-sharp piano wire, was effectively impassable, at least for the moment.
何かこの線を切れるような道具とか、とにかく罠を解除しないと。
I need to find some way to cut these wires, or some means of disabling the trap, at any rate.
私は来た道を引き返すことにした。
I decided to go back the way I came and search the rest of the school for answers. Okay, so we're back in search mode. Something that caught my eye in the menu that I wanted to touch on and see is this darkening. We're at 19%. The last time I checked, we were at 10%. So this darkening is slowly starting to take place. I don't know if it's based on where we go, who we talk to, how long we spend in certain places. Shout out to the infirmary. But it seems like it is growing. It's definitely growing. Do we want to go to 3A? I want to check out this hallway because it seems impassable for some reason. And then we can head back towards the other classroom. Yeah, so this is the wire up front. Oh, and we can inspect the wire itself. Sturdy, sharp piano wires strung tightly across the entire width of the corridor from wall to wall. Oh my goodness, that reminds me of that Chris Brown song. It's like, they keep me running from wall to wall. Oh my goodness. I remember like 7th grade when that was the big deal. There's a large hole in the floor here with a single board stretched across it, serving as a makeshift bridge. That's awfully familiar of a concept. Alright, we'll head over. Whoa! There's a whole area to the left. I didn't even realize that. The door to classroom 3A is frozen in place as if it's just a decoration on the wall. It can't be opened. Okay, but there's a flyer on the wall, it seems. I want to investigate this. Smudgy, blood-reddered lettering reads, "Getting close to the darkness is one way to learn the truth. This whole place sits close to darkness, after all." Interesting. I'm intrigued by this darkening thing. Door's frozen. Okay, so we can't really do much there. I think that's probably all we have to work with here then. Then we can't go to classroom 3A. We'll go to this hallway, see how 2A is doing, and then there's a whole nother hallway coming up. I feel like this is kind of feeling like Danganronpa 2, where I feel like a lot of the mobility, it doesn't really change the path or even really how things are connected from kind of like a underlying game design standpoint. But how you get from one point to another is very different in that you don't actually move the character per se. You're kind of moving from like one fixed screen to another in a very Danganronpa 2 versus Danganronpa 1 sort of way. And honestly, it's a bit of a negative for me. I definitely enjoyed getting to do that. Getting to walk around manually more so. Let's take a look at this classroom. The music died. What is this on the floor? Can I not investigate that? Oh, that's a shame. There's something on the board there. What about this door? This thing? Okay, I can take a look at this at the very least. Ooh.
お前の友達は裏切り者。殺される。逃げろ。
Holy cow, what is going on? What is going on? This like low voice in the background. The following words were scrawled on the blackboard. Your friend is a traitor. You're going to be killed. Run. Yikes. Huh? Soul burned by waves of energy. Pay tribute to God in this house of Shinozaki. Purified by the flames of hell. Judgment passed in the great beyond.
何これ。さっき聖子と来た時はこんなの書いてなかったよ。
This shouldn't have been there. It wasn't on the board when I first got here with Seiko.
誰かが書いたとしか思えない。私たちの仲を裂くために。
Somebody had to have written it recently, but why? To create a rift in our friendship?
人だか霊だかわかんないけど、ひどい。頭がおかしくなりそうになる。
I didn't know if it was a person or a ghost who did this, but whoever it was a terrible thing to do. This is all really starting to get to me.
誰かいるの？嫌がらせはやめて！
Is somebody in here? Stop harassing me, whoever you are. I wanted to open up the menu to see the darkening. I can't take this anymore. I just can't. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, that's not good.
見えない存在に怒りをぶつける。私も危険な精神状態かもしれない。
Oh no, she might have snapped. I didn't even know whom I was angry with. But make no mistake, I was seething. I was probably really close to my breaking point.
両目から勝手に流れ出る涙も拭かずに、その部屋を後にした。
I ran out of the room, never even pausing to wipe the tears from my eyes. We still living though? We still living though? Okay. Okay, so 2A's got the crazy stuff going on. Oh man, we got this whole hallway. We can potentially go to the 2nd and 3rd floors this way. I feel like this is a lot more overwhelming to try and explore than the original game is. Let's take a look at this hallway and then we'll probably decide where we want to go next. Anything to search over this way? Doesn't seem so. At the very least. We can head on down this way. I probably... Do I want to check out the hallway? Nah, I'll leave this passage open for another time. We'll go to this hallway. Anything of importance going on in here? Doesn't necessarily seem so. Is this just a mirror of the other one? It is. That's so funny. Reusing the art assets. Like I said, I hope that isn't always the case. Let's try and see what's going on in classroom 1A.
ここにもまた光る線。
Huh? What is that over there? It's more piano wire.
部屋の中央に切断線が走っていた。でもここにはただ一本のみ張られているだけ。くぐれば奥に進めるみたい。
There was yet another piece of piano wire in this room, seemingly razor sharp like the others. But only one. I could avoid it easily with some care. Watch out, it might be tempting you to move into another more hidden piano wire is what I would say. What is this over here? Can we take a look at that?
何これ?
What is this thing?
教室の隅にレバーのついた古い装置が置いてある。
In the corner of the room sat an antiquated mechanical device with a lever attached to it.
糸巻きのような大小の輪がついていて、そこからピンと張られた透明な線が教室の天井の隅に張られているように見える。
Oh, you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of the lever contraptions from the first game where you pull the lever and then the wire comes across and sliced some of our friends in wrong endings. It prominently featured two wheels with spools of translucent wire coiled around them and projected out toward the ceiling in a perfect tight line.
これがもしかして外の罠の装置?
Could this be the source of the booby trap? Pull the lever. Ooh, are we gonna pull it or are we not gonna pull it? I think we're gonna have to wait to find out in the next episode. Ooh, so it feels like we're starting to actually make some progress. I honestly don't know how I feel about this sort of the gameplay mechanic of moving around and such. Well, actually, I do know how I feel. Initially, I feel a little bit disappointed with it. That said, I'm going to stay open to it and see how it goes and see how it works. I'm sure it'll have its own advantages and benefits like the other one did as well. It might just not fit to me as much. But we're finally starting to control our character. We're finally starting to get to investigate, try and figure out what's going on. Things seem quite a bit different from the first game. I do think we are on this alternate ending timeline. I just want to see how everything fleshes out with Seiko. Can we save Seiko? I really hope so. But let me know what you guys thought of this episode in the comment section below. In particular, what do you guys think of the investigation, moving around on the maps? I really want to hear your thoughts on that, and if you guys think I will get used to it or something like that, I would love to hear that in the comment section. But until the next episode, this is Midnight Zero, and this mission is complete.